you clicked on this video, you're probably curious about what the homeschool experience is like, or you are homeschooled yourself and you want to compare experiences. Either one's completely fine. I got some notes here typed out on my MacBook so I don't lose track, because I tend to do that a lot. First bullet point I got here is no social life, or a lot less compared to someone in a public school. Really, the only social life that I really had came from church. I go to church, so I had a couple church friends there, as well as the youth group at my church, basically the same thing. But I did see people at church every Sunday and every Thursday night, so it was okay, you know. I know some homeschool kids that had even less than that, believe it or not. But most of the time you're inside. So just think about doing all your school inside for the most part. You don't have to go anywhere. It's just you. No one else is there. So for most people, it really does affect you. Your social skills, it affects that for sure. I didn't see too many people. I didn't even have real teachers. Everything. I just did all my work online. It's a common misconception that you just get easier work or you do less of it, and I'll correct that right now. I had a lot of work and it was still difficult because I went to normal high school for 1 year as a freshman, and I can confirm that as soon as I switched, nothing really changed that much. It's the same exact thing. You still have to test out. You can graduate early if you want to. Same thing if you're at a normal school, you can just test for your GED and pass like that. I had to do that, test out, senior year. I passed, obviously, because I actually did do school. So next bullet point, a lot of free time. When you're homeschooled, you can get your work done however you want. It's not like this class at this time, lunch break. You can just do it as fast as you want or space things out. So it's nice. And it was all courses, same thing as that. The only difference is that you can do it whenever you want, and it's just credits. You need this many credits to graduate. So that's how I basically looked at it, I'd wake up early, do all my work, be done by noon. I'm chilling, right? So that part wasn't that bad at all. Really, the only part you need to worry about is no social life. That affected me really hard. It made me very antisocial. I was never bad at talking to people, but I didn't want to leave the house. That's how bad it got. So last point I got here, people don't take you seriously. Yeah, people, they would look down on me because I was homeschooled. They would just be like, oh, you're lucky, you get to sleep in, your work's easier, you don't have to deal with teachers. They just didn't understand, and they were just assuming, it's messed up, but I would never say anything back. I just didn't want to deal with it, It's never worth it. But overall, I'm graduated now and I'm doing trade school, not doing college. School was never really my thing. That was one of the reasons why I switched to homeschool, because it was so difficult for me, honestly. And I was going through a rough time at the time, so it kind of motivated my switch as well. But overall, the experience of homeschool, it's not terrible. You just have to stay on top of actually making an effort to talk to people and hang out with people, because you can lose friends really easily just by being homeschooled, staying inside and never doing anything. And that was me. I lost some friends for being homeschooled. It affected my friendships a lot, I would say. And even after homeschool, I would like to say that my social skills have been for sure altered in my 3-ish years of being homeschooled. It affected me, it changed me, and I lost friends because of that even after high school, they all went off to college, and some of them just never talked to me again. And I'm convinced if I had stayed in a normal school, my social skills would be so much better off, and maybe I wouldn't have lost those friends. I'm not sure. You can't really know. It's just a what if, a what if this happened, a what if that happened. I don't regret homeschool. In fact, I don't really live with the regrets in general. I learned a lot of things, you know? That's another point, is that I had a lot of time to get good at certain things, you know? So in my time of being homeschooled, I grew my social media accounts, which I'm very grateful that I put a lot of effort into that, because I started making money off of TikTok that way. Made some good money, actually, yeah. On 2 different accounts. It was, you know, if I could go back, would I go to normal school? No. If I went to normal school, the only thing that would have gotten better was my social skills. That's the only thing that would have improved. Anything else, you got the upper hand if you're homeschooled, honestly. You have all the time in the world to get good at whatever you want. So I think that's the most important thing right there. If you're homeschooled, you could be learning all sorts of things for after homeschool, because you don't have to go to college. So if you knew what you wanted to do by like sophomore year, you could just get good at that. You can get really good at that skill and just take it into the real world, you know? If it was like a trade thing. So yeah, if you guys can relate to any of this, especially the social isolation or loneliness or anything like that, losing friends, or if you were just curious about what homeschool, you know, what it was about, then I'm glad if you were listening to any of this. Make sure to follow, because I do daily videos talking about random stuff, you know, my experiences, or, you know, whatever I feel like talking about. So make sure to follow. I'll see you guys tomorrow.